Today we're making jerk chicken. This dish is commonly associated with Jamaican cuisine, but it's very popular throughout the Caribbean. What jerk is, it's a style of cooking where you take a protein, marinate it in a variety of spices, then it's cooked over an open fire, traditionally using pimento wood, which gives the dish its key flavor. We're also gonna make a delicious jerk barbecue sauce that's gonna set this chicken off. Without further ado, let's get to cooking. So I've been spending the past few months trying to perfect this recipe for you guys, and I finally think I got it down to a science. We're going to start by breaking down a whole chicken. Using a whole chicken is most common for this recipe, but if you prefer making jerk chicken quarters or chicken thighs, you can do that as well. Now, there are many ways to break down a whole chicken, but what I like to do is spatchcock the chicken by removing the spine and laying it flat. Then using a sharp knife, we're going to remove each leg quarter and wing. Then we're going to take our knife and crack the breastbone, which will allow us to cut right through it, separating each breast. Now, for jerk chicken, it's common to break each breast down into 3 sections, leaving the bone attached, but it all depends on how big your chicken is. Also, this is optional, but I like to remove all the skin from the chicken. Then we're going to separate the thighs from the drumstick. Now, I've seen some people break this down even farther, where they'll cut the drumstick in half and cut the thigh in half. To me, that's just a matter of an opinion, depending on how big you want your pieces of chicken to be, but just make sure you have a very sharp knife if you're going to do it. Now we're going to place all the cut up chicken pieces into a large bowl, and we're going to get ready to wash the chicken. To make this as traditional as possible, it's most common to wash the chicken in a salt and lime juice solution. It's said to remove bacteria from the chicken, and it's part of the preparation process, but depending on who you ask or where you live, this could be optional in my opinion. So what you do is you take a lime wedge and scrub down each piece of chicken. You're going to run it under cold water until the water runs clear. Then you're going to set the chicken aside until you're ready to use. Now we're going to move on to making the jerk paste that we'll use to marinate the chicken. As you can see, there's a ton of ingredients that go into this. The only thing you might have trouble finding is Scotch bonnet peppers. It's okay to sub for habanero if you need to. Now in a large blender, we're going to add about 6 garlic cloves, a 2-inch piece of ginger, about 5 habaneros, 2 large shallots, 1 bunch of green onion, 1/4 cup of dried thyme, about 3 to 4 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of allspice, 1 to 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 3 to 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, a teaspoon of cinnamon, nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of clove, the juice of 2 whole limes, a big pinch of kosher salt, and black pepper. Then we're going to add about 1/4 cup of a neutral oil, just enough to get it to blend. Then start by pulsing your blender just to chop up the veggies, then puree into a smooth paste, give it a taste, and adjust the seasoning to your liking. Now we're going to move on to marinating our chicken. I recommend getting a shallow baking dish or a large bowl, then using a 2-gallon Ziploc bag. Make sure to fold the sides down so you don't contaminate the bag, then add all your chicken and all the jerk marinade. Let all the air out of the bag, then seal it up and toss the chicken around for a few minutes, making sure all the marinade is evenly covering every piece of chicken. Then we're going to place the bag in the baking dish and set that in the fridge to marinate for about 12 hours or up to overnight. Alright, so it's the next day, the chicken's still marinating, so we're going to work on making a jerk barbecue sauce before we smoke the chicken. The barbecue sauce ingredients are very similar to the marinade with a few added ingredients. To the blender, we're going to add a bunch of green onion, 1 whole shallot, about 4 to 5 garlic cloves, a 1-inch piece of ginger, 2 habaneros, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of dried thyme leaves, 1 to 2 tablespoons of allspice, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, the juice of 1 lime, and then salt and pepper. Now we're going to drizzle in a few tablespoons of a neutral oil, then we're going to pulse and then blend until smooth. Now in a medium-sized saucepan on medium heat, add all of the jerk paste, followed by 1 cup of ketchup. Give that a mix, then we're going to add about 3 ounces of pineapple juice. If you don't have pineapple juice, you can always sub for 3 ounces of orange juice. Bring the barbecue sauce to a simmer, season with salt, and let reduce for around 20 minutes or until thickened. Give the sauce one final taste and adjust the seasoning to your liking, and that's your jerk barbecue sauce. Now let's move on to smoking and grilling the chicken. The signature flavor that jerk chicken has comes from one specific type of wood called pimento wood. Pimento or allspice wood is very hard to find due to it only being really grown in the Caribbean. You're going to have to source this wood online to find it, and if you can't find it, I would recommend using oak or cherry wood. To cook this jerk chicken, we're going to use our kettle grill, and we're going to light a half a chimney of charcoal. Since we're going to smoke the chicken, we're going to bank the charcoal to one side using a charcoal basket. Add all the lit charcoal to the charcoal basket, then we're going to add about 3 chunks of our pimento wood right on top of the lit coals. Then we're going to put the lid on the kettle, bring it up to temp, and go grab our chicken. So our chicken is nice and marinated. We're we're gonna go outside and throw it on the grill. We're gonna place the chicken on the opposite side of the fire, and what I like to do personally is add the breast meat the farthest from the fire, since they're gonna cook a lot quicker than the thighs and drums, and they have more of a risk of overcooking. Now we're gonna let the chicken smoke for about an hour, and then we'll check on them. So it's been about an hour, and we're checking the temperature of each piece of chicken with the meat thermometer, and the chicken breasts are done right at about 160, 165, so we're gonna pull them off. We're gonna let the rest of the chicken continue to cook till the internal temperature reaches 165 to 175 degrees Fahrenheit. Then we're gonna pull them off and let them rest. Now we're gonna serve the jerk chicken family style on a large plate or platter, garnished with some lime wedges, habaneros, and green onion. Then we're gonna serve some of that delicious jerk barbecue sauce on the side, and I also recommend eating it with beans and rice and coleslaw. I really hope you guys give this recipe a try and let me know how you like it. Enjoy. There you have it, we made jerk chicken. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you want to see me cook next. If you enjoyed this video or you learned something, give me a like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.